Hi everybody, how's it going? Mark here again with another review video. This one's got quite a few comics in there, and this one is from last week's, which is the 11th of April. These ones are from the week before, which is the 4th of April. So I'll just quickly go through these ones because you've probably seen these reviewed on other videos on YouTube and by other people. So start off with Nightforce number 2, Marv Wolfman and Tom Mandrake. Really enjoying this mini-series. Tom Mandrake's artwork is really atmospheric and absolutely gorgeous. If you liked his work on the Spectre in DC Comics in around about 94, 95 I think it was, you'll really enjoy this. Marv Wolfman back on Nightforce, who was the original writer for the original series in the 80s, and yeah, this is full of lots of suspense, lots of supernatural stuff going on, and well worth picking up. If you haven't got the first issue, then pick up the first issue and pick this one up, or definitely wait for the trade because this is really good. What we've got, Fairest number 2, more the same from Willingham actually. If you read Fables, you know what's to expect from this. Really enjoying this, gorgeous artwork inside, and yeah, definitely worth picking up as well. What else we have? Daredevil 10.1. Not much going on here with the origin of Daredevil, probably because Marvel have just brought out Daredevil Season 1, which is a hardback that actually goes behind, it actually goes back to the origin of Daredevil, so they probably wouldn't want to put too much of the origin of Daredevil in here, but there is a bit of backstory on Matt Murdock and a little bit of backstory on Matt Murdock from what he was before he was Daredevil, when he was a child, before he was blinded. Mainly this sets up the story for the next issue, which I believe is part 3 of the Omega effect, which also crosses over with Avenging Spider-Man number 6 and the Punisher number something or other, whatever it is. I think it's number 6 as well, but still definitely worth getting. Absolutely brilliant. Mark Waid on Daredevil is one of the best comics that's coming out at this moment from the big two. So there you go. What else do we have? Amazing Spider-Man number 683. This is the normal cover. This has got Spider-Man in his new Spidey armour, and it is just been built to take out the different members of the Sinister Six. It's there's a moment in there when he goes to the UN UN building, and there's a big summit going on about what Dr. Octopus is doing to the world and the threats that he's being made to the world, and Spider-Man uses sensors that he's built into the helmet that he's taken from ideas that the Daredevil uses with his superpowers, and he can tell that Al Gore is not Al Gore. He's the chameleon. I knew there was always something wrong with Al Gore. It's just something about him that his eyes were too close together or something like that. But yeah, really enjoying this. Absolutely loving this. I mean, Dan Slott is just brilliant on Amazing Spider-Man. I'm not looking forward to him leaving. I don't know who they've got lined up to take his place, and hopefully Dan Slott isn't going to be leaving for a long time. So yeah, definitely worth picking up. What do we have here? Probably the best 3 comics that come out on the 4th of April, and we'll do them in order, is Animal Man number 8. Continuously an amazing comic coming out month after month. Animal Man is slowly getting closer and closer to its crossover that it's going to be having with Swamp Thing. He's fighting the Rot. His daughter Maxine has found out she's got a new power where she can die in one body and recreate herself in another animal's body. This one she uses a fox. She does it quite politely. She asked the fox if she said that she asked the fox if she could use his body to make a new one for himself, and he quite happily agreed to allow her to use his body and reform it to look like her, which is a bit of a freaky power, but you can definitely see where they're going with this, with trying to make Maxine into the red avatar where they've got Alex Holland as the Swamp Thing, and obviously Swamp Thing used to be able to do that. He would die in one place and be able to regrow himself in another place, miles and miles away. And bit of a twist at the end of this, but I'm sure it's all going to be okay in the end with this story arc. But yeah, Animal Man, always an amazing comic. Next up is Swamp Thing. I don't really need to give it too much of a fanfare really, because Swamp Thing is the best comic that is coming out of DC at this moment in time. Alex Holland is now Swamp Thing. He has taken on the mantle of the Protector of the Green, and he is going into battle with the Rot, trying to save Abby Arcane, but unfortunately he's a bit too late. And as much as Alex Holland has been changed into the Swamp Thing, Abby has been changed into the Avatar of the Rot, and a battle ensues. But you know, this is just pure brilliance. This is the best thing that is coming out of DC at this moment, and you don't even need the reboot for this, because this is literally coming out of stories from way back from Brightest Day, from the end of Brightest Day, and also from the Brightest Day Aftermath, Search for Swamp Thing. So you know, DC didn't need a reboot to make this comic, so it's really good. And finally, for the week of the 4th of April, we have Avengers vs X-Men #1. You've probably seen 100 of reviews on this. You've probably seen 1,000 reviews on this. If you look on YouTube long enough, you probably find 1,000,000 reviews on this comic. So I am not going to review this at all, because people have probably done it a lot better than me. All I'm saying is that if you have not got this comic, then you are really missing out on a really good event. Forget Fear itself, forget Siege, forget any of the other stuff, any of the other crossovers that Marvel has had in the last few years. This is if this series is, if this issue is anything to go by. Sorry, I'm so excited about this one. If this issue is anything to go by, what the rest of the series is going to be like, this is going to blow DC Comics out of the water. I don't care if DC Comics has got comics that are in the top 10. This is going to completely annihilate them. You know, this is just... when I first heard about Avengers vs X-Men, I thought, oh yeah, here we go, Avengers vs X-Men has been done 1,000 times before. Great, you know, another crossover from Marvel. But I read it and it was brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Really pick this up. I cannot big this up enough. It is amazing. Right, that was for the comics from the 4th that come out in America on the 4th of April. These are the ones that come out last week, which was the 11th of April. And we start off with Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, #8. Really enjoying this from DC. After I've given Swamp Thing such a massive big up on that for saying it's the best comic on DC, this isn't the best comic that DC is bringing out, but it is fun, it is enjoyable, it is a really good read. I don't know if they've changed the artist in here, because I'm not too keen on the artist in here. The previous artist was a little bit iffy, but he went well with the story and with the characters. This artist is, I don't know, a little bit too clean cut. Whether it, I mean, I can't remember who the artist was actually in the previous issues, but the artwork looks different in this, so you know. But this one has Frankenstein and Lady Frankenstein, and they're looking for their son, and they end up going to Castle Frankenstein and finding their son. And well, if you want to find out what happens in the end of it, you're going to have to read this book. But it's really good. It's a really good read. And next issue is a story that's titled Search for Animal Man. So this looks like it's going to cross over at least with Animal Man. So, you know, keep an eye on Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, because if you're an Animal Man fan or a Swamp Thing fan, this looks like it could have something to do with it, right? Next up, we have the New Avengers #24. Yes, it is an Avengers vs X-Men crossover issue. Yes, I promised myself that I would not buy any of the Avengers vs X-Men crossover issues, but I bought this one just to see, because as far as I know, this is the first Avengers vs X-Men crossover issue that's come out. I want to see how they were going to incorporate all the crossover issues and that. And it does look like they're going to be doing exactly the same thing as they did with all the previous crossover series that they've done recently, with Secret Invasion, Civil War and all that. This just gives you some backstory on what happened previously before the Avengers go to the X-Men island, and before Cyclops hits Captain America with his eye blast. It's okay. It's not, you know, as a story, it's all right. It gives a bit more detail in what was going on with Luke Cage, really, before the Avengers went to see the X-Men about Hope. Whether it gives any more to the story of Avengers vs X-Men 1, I don't know, because to me it just seems like it's retelling stuff that we probably already knew. But you know, it was okay. It was alright for a little bit. I probably won't get any more Avengers vs X-Men crossover issues, but I'm not promising that I'm not going to get any. Okay. Like most people in the comic book community, I am a completist, so you know, there you go. And next up, what do we have? Oh, do you like ninjas? Do you like lots and lots and lots and lots of ninjas? No? What's wrong with you? Why don't you like ninjas? What do you like? If you don't like ninjas, what do you like? Anyway, if you do like ninjas, then you will like Avengers SpiderMan number 6. This is part 1 of the Omega effect, which crosses over with the Punisher and Daredevil this month. And it starts off with... Sorry, that's my pet rats in the background going crazy because they're crazy. This starts off with Spider-Man fighting lots of ninjas. He fights the Hand. And it also carries on with the Daredevil having the Omega Drive, which has all this information on all the sorry, I'm getting heckled by my pets here. It also has this continues on from the Daredevil story, with Daredevil having the Omega Drive, which has all of the information on all the terrorist organisations like the Hand, AIM, and the Hydra and all that, and everybody's trying to get hold of it. Punisher is trying to get hold of it as well in this issue. I haven't been following the Punisher comic recently, so I don't know what's actually going on in the Punisher comic. But he's lost an eye, or he's got something wrong with one of his eyes. So if anybody knows what's happened, if you'd like to put in the comment section and let me know what's happened to him, because you know, it'd be interesting to find out. But yeah, this is just full of action packed, from Spider-Man fighting a Hand to the Punisher confronting the Daredevil, saying that he wants the Omega Drive, to the Daredevil telling the Punisher basically where to go, and then Spider-Man comes on the scene with the ninjas, the Hand ninjas, following him, and all hell breaks loose. And it is just action all the way with this one. Really good, and it looks like it could be a really good series as well for the three comics that it goes with. What have we got now? We have got Resurrection Man number 8, and this is more the same really with Resurrection Man, Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning. What's in this one? In this one you have a hunter. Basically, the Resurrection Man is on a hit list. Everyone's trying to get hold of him, and in this one, the person who's trying to get hold of him is somebody who can only... He's a magician, but he can only make the magic spells when he takes somebody's life. So, you know, pretty big explosions in it and everything. But yeah, not too bad. Worth picking up if you've got some pennies left over in that. I'm enjoying it anyway, so there you go. Now, if I can get my head back together again after being heckled by my pet rats. Next up we have Scarlet Spider number 4, and I'm enjoying this. I really am enjoying this. As it says on there, all of the power, none of the responsibility. And if you read this, you can tell that this isn't Spider-Man. This is Kane in the Scarlet Spider suit. This is not Peter Parker. He is willing to, if somebody has got a gun, he is willing to break their hands so that they can't fire the gun. If somebody is, attacking somebody, he's willing to do serious damage to stop them from hurting an innocent person. Unlike Spider-Man, who would do everything he can to save everybody. So, but yeah, this one, it's the Assassin's Guild that are trying to get Kane to come on to their side and do a job for them. But you'll have to read it to find out what happens, because I'm not going to spoil it for you. But yeah, Scarlet Spider, really good. Next up, finally, we have Saucer Country, by Paul Cornell, and I'm enjoying this as well. If you like The West Wing and if you liked X-Files, you would enjoy this. It's all about a senator who is trying to become president, and she realises that she has been abducted by aliens, and she's decided she's not going to ruin her chances of becoming president. So she is going to secretly look to see find and uncover the alien conspiracy that is happening around her. And yeah, I'm enjoying this. It's really good, and definitely worth picking up as well. Right, very quickly, if anybody remembers and if anybody saw it, I did a raffle about a week ago, and it was such a huge success that I'm going to do the draw now. And as you can see, I haven't got anything to draw because only one person entered it. So thank you, Ghost Critic, for entering the raffle, and this is what you won. O.M.A.C. One Man Army issue 2 and O.M.A.C. One Man Army issue 3. They're not in mint condition. They do have problems with, scuffed bottom and that, and you've got the T&P British stamp on there and everything, but definitely worth a read. Thank you for entering, Ghost Critic, and thanks everybody else for watching the video. And yeah, I shall get in contact with you a bit later on to get your details and everything, and we'll sort something out for me to send it to you. Okay, right, that's it. That's the video. That's the end of that one now. And that's me up to date as well with all my reviews at the moment. Right, I think of anything else? Nope. That's your lot. Thank you all for watching. Thanks everybody who subscribed. Please comment down the bottom if you want to comment. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Ta-ta for now.